Welcome back to the series to master Spring Boot 3, Spring Framework 6 with Java 17. Just a quick recap. In our earlier videos, we have built 3 REST API with get mapping, and we understood what path variable is, what request parameter is, what are request headers, and what are response entity. Now in today's video, we are going to understand what post mapping is. So this will be a short video because last video was quite big, and if you are new to this video, subscribe to my channel for more amazing content like this. Now coming back to our IDE, and we'll start doing some coding. So as you could see that gradually or slowly we are building an application, a real world application. Soon you will understand what are we going to build, because in every application we will be having customer detail. Customer are in every application. You always need to design a small project which handles customer detail. So this is considered as a small project, but when we are going to enhance this project will become our smaller microservice. So stay tuned and subscribe to future upcoming videos. Now we just how to enable post mapping. We just created @post mapping, and then we will define our endpoint. We can define it as a version 4, whereas it will be customers. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create our method, but before that we need to have one more bean for customer, because we have created a customer bean in our previous example for get mapping. As you could see that we have used record, which is introduced in Java 11, and this we cannot do setter. We cannot use setter method in record. It is a singleton object. We cannot edit this object. I will cover this difference between record or the benefits of record in Java 11, but for now we will create one more so that you will have a difference between record and a non-record class. We will create one more class named as customers. So in this we are going to have couple of variables. Those variables will be private. All will be string for now. Private string, first name, always first name, then we have last name, and then we have email. So slowly we are going to grow these number. We are going to add more variables, but for now we are starting less. We'll create getter setters. Okay, so no need to write code for this. Just create getter setter using your IDE feature. You could right click and generate. If you are using Windows, it will be Control N. If you are using Mac, it will be Command N, and then you can do generate getter and setter. So now we have created our customer class. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create our public method, which will of customer type, and then new customer. So in this we are going to store, because it is a post, right? So we are going to store our new customer information using this method. Then as we have discussed here, we have understood couple of things. Request parameter, path variable I am not going to cover because we have already covered in our previous video. Request parameter, path variable, request header, response entity. Okay, we have covered all these things in our previous video. You can go and watch those videos to understand those things. Now in this video, as we have covered all these three things, in this I am not going to cover that part. I'm just, because I have to make the video short. So we are going to directly use request body. As I said in our previous video that we are going to cover post mapping and request body. And as a request body will be of type what? So it will be type of customer. Okay, so customer and then customer variable. Then we will open the brackets, and then this will be quite simple one. I'm not going to add any logic. So what we are going to do? We are going to return our customer. So when we are doing post, right? So someone wants to store the information in our database or some queue or Elasticsearch or Kafka, anywhere they want to store the information, because anywhere informations are stored in the cache or whatever. So now we are going to, for now we are not using any of those mode to store our data. We are going to just return back, just mimic whatever you are sending, we are just returning it. So we will use response entity. We have discussed this, what response entity is, and then we are going to pass same customer object, and then we are going to use our HTTP status dot created, because we have created our user. Now it is throwing an error because we need to get the body. It is an internal method of HTTP. So now what we can do is we are going to run this application. Okay, application is running, started. Now what we are going to do is we are going to open our postman. I have already opened our postman, and if you have followed my previous video, we have created these endpoint and just see whether it is working or not. Okay, the code is working. Now we are going to create new. We'll click on this button, then because it is post, we will come here and it is post. We can easily select anyone of it. Okay, we'll select this version 1, and then we are going to rename it to version 4 because it is version 4. And then what we are going to do is we are going to pass our body here. Our body is raw, which will be JSON. So now we will open our brackets. Okay, and then we are going to pass the information what we are expecting. So ID will be, for example, any number. You can give any number. We are going to enhance this. Now the first name, it has to match what we are given. Then we have path name, then last name. Okay, now our email address. Okay, so now let's see what happens. So now we are going to click the send button and we'll see whether our API is okay. It is working. We'll save it. So we'll do save and we'll save, rename it to, so that it looks nice. You always need to organize your work because it's quite clean and it's quite efficient when you have organized your work. Okay, so I hope you are following, and this will definitely going to help you in working in a big industry because work are organized over there, and they showcase that how organized you are. Now see what we can see, our post mapping is working. So now we can do one more thing, is that what we are going to do is we are going to change this to get, and we'll see what happens. Oh, something is wrong, right? You see, method not allowed. You could understood, right? It is, we have not added any logic in here, but internally Spring is giving us that method not allowed for this endpoint, because this endpoint exists, but for this endpoint, for this particular endpoint, this method is not allowed. Means you cannot do get for this method, or you can also check. We'll cover all of things. Okay, we'll cover all of things, but we are just experimenting. So now we'll click on delete and see what will happen. Okay, you see, again we are getting method not allowed. So this is the beauty of Spring. Okay, we have not written any single code, but still it is protecting our application that it will not delete the resource. So now you could see that whatever we are sending, it is returning. This is just mimicking that wherever we pass post, it will store this information into a database. Now we are going to change this, see what will happen next, whether information reflects or not. Let's see. Okay, so you could see that it is working and the error code is coming what we have sent. Okay, we can also, now this is a small work for you. Now I want you to do one small task, because if I'm only doing coding and you're just watching it, there is no point, right? What I want you to do is, I want you to write a logic. Okay, write a logic. What you are going to do, you are going to check that whether id is present or not. Okay, so right now if we pass this empty id, so it will send us empty. Okay, blank. And this is first task, that if I am not passing any value, it will send me exactly the same. Now if I remove id completely, okay, if I remove id completely, now if I send this, it is sending me null. This is second task. So I want you to handle these two scenario and put that in the comment section. Only put that those two lines, that how you are going to achieve those two things. In my next video, I will cover that how are we going to achieve those two things. You would think you could do some experiment, and I want you to really, for experienced people, I know it's a quite small task, but for the one who are college students or those who are following this since the beginning, I want them to follow this task and put down in the comment section that what, or it's up to you. Means the reason I am pushing you to do it, because it will let you think how you are going to achieve it. I don't want you to take any Google help. I just want you to think, because all those things are already present in here. Okay, you just have to think little hard. How are you going to do it? Doesn't matter if you fail, but I just want you to try it, and I just want you to think. And no matter if you are unable to do it, in my next video I am going to tell you, and we are going to cover lot more interesting topic. So thank you for your time. Thank you. Bye bye.